Today is the 5th of January 2025 and we have snow in the UK, and that made me want to ask you, who's pulling your strings? And oh, my table is a bit wonky. And I then also decided to draw a snow picture with the background I've done on the first day. I'm still learning how to do videos, and I know it's not the right way around, and I actually had a lot of reasons not to do one today. I'm really fatigued. But the whole thing is a little bit of an experiment for myself. So back to the subject that I wanted to discuss with you, or invite you just to explore. So I've lived on this earth for more than half a century now. And I grew up in Germany, and we had lots of snow. And we never had weather warnings. If you look on the news, I don't have a telly, but I go like on Google News and there says weather warning. And that made me think that how things are sensationalized. And can you see this? I'm not sure you can see this. No, you can't see this. Oh, interesting. Right. See, this would be a perfect example of not putting this on YouTube. But the whole thing is about trying to get rid of the fear of having to do things perfect and waiting for the perfect moment. So I'm just going to continue. So when I was a child, it was just winter. And they would maybe say things like, this is the temperature, and we are expecting snow. That doesn't happen these days anymore. It's now a warning, and the big freeze is coming. Like today, all the buses were cancelled in Leeds. I live in Leeds, West Yorkshire. And people got stuck who finished their night shift, didn't know how to get home. Because apparently winter is such a surprise every year that nobody changes their tires to winter tires, which is actually a law in Germany. And I was just wondering how much we are influenced by the wording of the news or social media. And if you are already an anxious person, then these wordings could make your anxiety even worse. See, I think this looks really rubbish, but like I said, this is not a video series to teach you how to paint properly, because although I'm a mixed media artist, I normally work in metal and other things. I'm not a painting or drawing artist, so I just have to learn like other people as well. And the whole point is to encourage you to allow yourself to be as rubbish as I am and not to give up. And I really, oh gosh, I was so tired earlier, and I've got ME CFS, so I'm not just tired, I'm proper fatigued, and I thought, nah, I don't want to do another video. And I still did one, or I'm doing one now, because I want things to change. And I'm not really sure how they can change unless I do things differently than before. And how do you deal with doom scrolling and getting worried about the state of the world? Because there's war everywhere and the energy prices are going up, and so many people worry about so much. And then on the other hand, we see all these glorious people on social media and how amazing their life is, and where they went on holiday, and how clean their houses are, and how amazing they are with their drawings. And I'm like, you never see people's beginnings or their messiness and their failures. And what do we even call a failure? What is a failure? Because if I don't do anything, you can't criticize me. People can say, oh, your videos are absolute rubbish, or your drawings are absolute rubbish. So if you don't take a risk, nobody can criticize us. And that's quite a nice way to live, or not taking a risk, not being criticized. I don't really know why I'm sticking my neck out, but I just wanted to do things differently this year, a bit less scared, a bit more mistakes, and not being influenced when someone says, oh, there's a weather warning and there's a big freeze coming, and just going, no, it's winter, it's January, and snow is normal. So how do you deal with your fears? Do you have an idea or a recipe how to get rid of them and not let the world dictate what language you should use and how you should feel about something? Or does it unsettle you what you read and watch on the news? And how do you feel about sharing what you create? Do you worry what people think? Do you think they're gonna judge you? And does that make you nervous? And do you wish you could paint and draw, but it's just too risky? I can see already that I enjoyed drawing this line much more than the first few lines. And you know what? The worst comes to the worst, I can just chuck it in the bin. Like, I don't plan to pay my rent with this, or buy food. I'm probably gonna starve. I don't even know how to paint snow. I've not gone to art school. I did an apprenticeship and went to college and did metal work, but I didn't learn how to paint. And then you see kids and they have so much joy and their paint goes everywhere and they don't care, and they have it on their clothes and on their face, and and they just have joy. And then we grow up and we forget. And kids just see snow and they play in it and they're excited and they want their sledge out, and we get scared. Someone tries to scare us by telling us that weather warning. And it doesn't, I'm not making fun of that. We shouldn't be careful, and people have to go to work. But it feels manipulative. And I think that's what I don't like. Instead of just using normal words, normal language, and say, yeah, it's gonna get cold. It's January, and be careful when you're on the road, and maybe if you can work from home, and just normalize talking about things instead of trying to scare people all the time. And that's what I think what I want to do with these videos. I want to normalize talking about not being able to paint, and how do we get better, and how we feel ashamed and worried that people are judging us. I want to normalize talking about mental health and feeling depressed and all these things that we just so busy pretending. And don't most of us struggle with similar things? Can you imagine we would just talk about things how they really are, instead of trying to impress each other or try to manipulate each other through the words we use? I think I'm sort of enjoying that this looks absolute shocking. I will probably do something with it, but I'm not going to torture you any longer with this. So, happy creating, and look after yourself in the snow.